Indiana has received a visit from a former five-star recruit in CJ Baxter to possibly land at Indiana with momentum going that way as well. Let's break down some of this stuff with CJ Baxter. I'm going to bring up his PFF here for you to look at from this season. This is 2025. When we get to talking about other seasons, we'll go there. But CJ Baxter, former Texas Longhorns running back, redshirt sophomore this season in 2025, will be a redshirt junior. He enters the transfer portal as a redshirt junior next season. 2 years of eligibility remaining. The number 176 player in the transfer portal, number 16 running back in the transfer portal. He had 3 years in Austin, Texas. They're playing in 21 games with 9 starts his freshman year. Let's go ahead and go there. In 2023, his freshman year, he was able to play in all 12 games, had 6 starts, 138 carries, 659 yards, 5 touchdowns, and also caught 24 balls for 256 yards. He got a good amount of awards, honorable mention, All Big 12. He was All Big 12 Offensive Newcomer of the Year, second team All Freshman on the Athletic, and freshman All American, honorable mention by the College Football Network. In 2024, unfortunately, he did suffer a season-ending injury in fall camp. If you remember that 2024 season, Texas kind of did a lot that season without a very healthy or with a very unhealthy running back room that season, with a lot of injuries that they had to go through. Built up a lot of kind of sympathy for him, but also made people question if he came back fully healthy in the same player as in 2025. We'll go here and look at that. This season, he started a couple games there toward the beginning, but eventually did not play nearly as much later on. As you can see, the snaps and things like that continue to kind of taper off there, or the snaps and the attempts kind of continue to go off there. He had a breakout freshman season, but this season 9 games, to only 2 starts. PFF has here 54 carries for 196 yards, a 3.6 yards per carry. PFF says 193. They're sometimes a little iffy on their stats. I don't know why they do that. It's really annoying that PFF does that, but they're really good with their own like internal stats and stuff. So against Ohio State, he had a 10+ yard run. Against San Jose State, he had 2 10+ yard runs, but he just never really had it after that. His career total, or he had 12 receptions for 41 yards and 1 touchdown reception as well. His career totals 192 carries for 855 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns, 36 receptions for 197 yards and 1 receiving TD. Good dual threat ability there as a runner and a pass catcher as well. And this kind of player would really put to test the Kirk Cignetti mantra of production over potential, because we did see production from CJ Baxter as a freshman, but then you get the injury, the little bit of a thought process of, is he still his same self? He gets, he has to miss some games in the middle of that year again for Texas, and he comes back, but he's not running the ball super well. It's 3 yards per carry most of those games, and so there is some concern there with that. But he is, like I said, ranked a number 176 in the nation, number 16 running back. He has experience. He's played 2 seasons there at Texas. He's a former 5-star recruit, and so would Kirk Cignetti take him? I personally don't think Indiana and Kirk Cignetti invites anybody on campus unless they're really, really willing to take him. So I think this is a possible take for Indiana. And if I'm CJ Baxter, if they're willing to take me, I am jumping at this opportunity immediately. Indiana is going to be losing a few running backs in their running back room after this season. And so bringing in a guy like CJ Baxter, if you do believe he still has that ability, he still has that 5-star in him, could be really, really important for Indiana this season. Another 2 additional visitors that I want to bring up, just, kind of highlight them a little bit. We're not going to talk on them long, but these guys were visiting this weekend as well. Joe Brunner there from Wisconsin. He's the number 81 player in the transfer portal, number 4 inside offensive lineman. Started all 12 games at Wisconsin this year for the Badgers, a Badger offensive line that honestly just had a ton of injuries and things were awful. And that way he earned honorable mention, All Big Ten award from the media. He was is teammates with multiple guys who will play for Indiana next season. Preston Zachman, Riley Nowakowski, Drew well, the guys that played for Indiana. I apologize there. I said that I said that wrong. As Riley Nowakowski will not be back next season. Drew Evans is a redshirt junior, so he could come back. So he could play with Preston Zachman and Drew Evans there at Indiana next season. But Riley Nowakowski, a redshirt senior, he will be moving on. I mean, unless there's some kind of NCAA waiver or something that I don't know about, he'll be moving on from next year as well. And then the other one is a wide receiver, which I was not anticipating that Indiana would go after a wide receiver, but Shazz Preston from Tulane, the number 258 player in the On3 industry transfer portal rankings, number 45 wide receiver. In 2025, he had 43 receptions, 723 yards, and 4 touchdowns. So really interesting addition possibly here from Indiana. Again, I don't think that, I just don't think that Kirk Cinetti brings anybody in to possibly, to visit Indiana unless he's ready to take him. Now, he was a deep threat kind of guy, so maybe this is, somebody that Kirk Cinetti wants to kind of utilize to take the top off the defense a little bit and have a downfield threat. Like I said, 43 receptions, 723 yards, 4 touchdowns. That comes out to averaging about 17 yards per reception, which is really good, a really good deep threat. And so maybe he utilizes him in that way a little bit more. We'll see. Maybe Tulane just didn't utilize him properly, and Kirk Cinetti has big plans for him. We'll see what happens there. But that's kind of the stuff with Indiana there.